privilege of staying in an Airbnb where the hostess truly understands hospitality. It is a delightful little place that is tucked away back off the street. There is the most adorable little garden out here, and it is very, very enjoyable. In fact, this time of the year, we've got some sun and even some snow on the ground. It's very nice. It's very difficult for us as humans to focus on others. According to Philippians 2:21, we have this tendency to focus on ourselves, and that too seems to kind of come from the garden. And the enemy was able to get Adam and Eve to focus on themselves and not on God. And that shift changed, and it's been very difficult to get it back to the Lord ever since. I want to take a look at a passage of scripture that I think that is really going to help get us back to the garden, help get us back to the original design. And that is in Colossians 4, starting in verse 2. It says, "Continue in prayer and watch in the same with thanksgiving." This idea of prayer is often difficult for us because we're pretty self-reliant and we have a lot of focus on ourselves. And I think the other thing is too that not all of us are relationally wired, and so we just want to solve the problem at hand and not go through the paces that it takes to get it done. And so prayer. When you pray, you're going to get your focus off yourself. When you pray, you're going to get your focus on God. When you pray, you will begin to see that the answer is God Himself. And you will find such tranquility and solitude in His presence. And then it says that we're to watch in the same with thanksgiving. This idea of thanksgiving or gratitude goes back and rehearses all the great things that God has done. And so instead of this razor sharp focus on what is happening right now and feeling all of the pressure, you pull back and you begin to take a larger view of things. Now we read in verse 3, "Wherewithal praying also for us, that God would open unto us a door of utterance to speak the mysteries of Christ, for which I am also in bonds, that I might make it manifest as I ought to speak. Walk in wisdom towards them that are without, redeeming the time. Let your speech always be with grace and seasoned with salt, that you may know how you ought to answer every man." And so we might have went to the Lord with some urgent concern about a thing that we want resolved, and by pulling back and putting our focus on Him, thinking about all of the great things that He has done, and then beginning to really look at the key issue is where the people are and where their spiritual situation is. It changes everything. And so this idea of being ready, when you are ready for these difficulties and these challenges, you have a very different mindset. Instead of being frantic, you are prepared. And you almost anticipate it because in your preparation, you have been working this out. This is the time of the year that a lot of people say, "I'm going to make some preparation. I'm going to do things different." And people are making changes right now. Can one of those changes be to have an others focus instead of a focus on self? That we might, through prayer and thanksgiving, realize the real need is the salvation of those souls of the people around us. When I think about our hostess, she's created all of this that we might enjoy. God has created everything here Not only that we might enjoy, but we might tell others. No doubt she would like us to tell others. I'm doing that now. And we ought to tell others what God has done for us. And it's a lot easier when they can see it in us. May God richly bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you liking, subscribing, and sharing these videos. God bless.